Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome back, everyone. Today's explainer is all about peeling back the layers on something you've probably walked past 1,000 times without giving it a second thought. We're talking about the mulberry plant. You know, it's incredibly common, often just growing completely wild along garden fences or in empty lots. But here's the thing, modern scientists are currently absolutely stunned by the hidden, hard science locked right inside this everyday plant. So whenever we think of the mulberry, our minds immediately jump straight to those sweet, dark berries, right? But the full picture is actually so much more fascinating than that. I really want you to think about this question for a second. What happens if the absolute most medically powerful part of a plant, the part holding immense real-world scientific potential, is the exact part we naturally pluck off and just throw in the trash? It's the classic iceberg concept. The real treasure of the mulberry plant is literally hidden entirely in plain sight.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're dealing with today. As you can see, this plant has a remarkable dual nature. On the one hand, it holds some truly incredible medicinal applications. We're talking everything from stabilizing blood pressure to assisting with diabetes management and even improving your sleep. But right alongside those amazing benefits are some very real, very strict health warnings. We absolutely have to respect both sides of this plant, and today we're going to dissect the specifics of how you can unlock its power safely.
All right, Section 1, the truth about the fruit.
Look, we all know the mulberry fruit is this fantastic, tasty little powerhouse. It's totally packed with vitamins and antioxidants, making it a genuinely great snack. But there is a surprisingly thin line here between a highly nutritious superfood and something surprisingly harmful. Eating too much of it actually brings some unexpected risks. For one, the potassium levels in mulberries are incredibly high. Consume too much and it puts severe pressure on your kidneys. Not great. It can also trigger a sudden, drastic crash in your blood sugar. And it actually gets worse. The white sap that seeps out of the unripe berries contains hidden toxins that will make your stomach completely rebel against you.
Because of this very real risk, health experts have had to draw a hard line. 40 grams, that's the magic number. Experts strongly advise consuming a maximum of only 40 grams of fully ripe mulberry fruit per day. The very moment you cross that threshold, you're actively putting your body at risk of those severe side effects we just talked about. It's a remarkably potent fruit, so moderation isn't just a casual suggestion here, it's practically a medical necessity.
Moving right along to Section 2, the power of the leaf.
Now we get to go below the surface of our iceberg. That leafy green foliage, the stuff usually treated as simple yard waste to be raked up and composted, it's actually a profound medical marvel. And hey, this isn't exactly a brand new discovery. Ancient traditional medicine definitely didn't underestimate the leaf for a second. The renowned Ming Dynasty physician Li Shixin affectionately named it Dun Dian Tao, which beautifully translates to the fairy herb. He literally ranked this common everyday leaf on the exact same level as the legendary ginseng. But here is the fascinating difference between the two. While ginseng is famous for its warming properties to nourish the body, the mulberry leaf provides the perfect opposite. It offers deep, cooling, and profound healing.
Fast forward to today, and modern science completely validates that ancient wisdom. This leaf essentially acts like a biological multi-tool against modern ailments. It lowers bad cholesterol, it actively protects your cardiovascular health, it's packed with a compound called GABA, which helps calm your brain and actually improves your sleep. It even inhibits melanin production, which helps prevent skin aging and freckles. But the ultimate superpower of the mulberry leaf, the absolute real showstopper here, is its ability to physically block carbohydrate absorption.
Which perfectly sets up Section 3, decoding the DNJ compound.
So the crucial point is understanding exactly how it blocks those carbs. Meet your new best friend, 1-deoxynitroglycine, or let's just call it DNJ for short. This is a highly unique alkaloid that you will only find in mulberry leaves. I want you to think of DNJ almost like the hero in an action movie taking place inside your digestive system. When you eat, this compound actively barricades your gut. It literally acts as a physical shield, completely blocking the specific enzymes responsible for breaking down carbohydrates. Because those carbs can't be quickly broken down, dangerous, massive sugar spikes in your blood are stopped dead in their tracks. For anyone managing diabetes, this is an absolute game changer.
And this isn't just some vague folktale either. Clinical trials have measured this exact effect down to the minute, 90 minutes. That is the clinically validated window of protection we're talking about here. Consuming this leaf extract creates a protective shield in your gut that lasts for a full hour and a half after you eat. It's a highly specific, measurable, physiological mechanism firmly recognized by modern science.
Section 4, modern scientific breakthrough.
Now, boiling some raw leaves for tea is great and all, but modern food science researchers in Vietnam really wanted to take this ancient knowledge and upgrade it. They wanted to turn this leaf into a highly stable, highly convenient instant supplement. And let me tell you, this was an incredibly complex puzzle. It's basically modern alchemy. They had to figure out how to extract that powerful, highly sensitive DNJ compound and stabilize it into a convenient, modern spray-dried powder format. Oh, and they had to do all of this without destroying the leaf's delicate medicinal properties in the process.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer level of intense laboratory optimization required to actually pull this off. This right here is their winning recipe. They had to use exactly 3% maltodextrin to act as a carrier and prevent the powder from clumping due to humidity. They added just 0.6% aspartame, just enough to make it taste good without ruining the medical effects. They had to crank the drying temperature to exactly 130 degrees Celsius for optimal thermal stability, all while maintaining a pump flow rate of exactly 1,500 milliliters per hour to get the fluid dynamics just perfect. It's incredibly precise.
In all that intense dry data, it resulted in a massive victory, 1.43%. That means they successfully managed to retain 1.43% of completely intact DNJ per gram of the final powder. They didn't just capture the flavor of the leaf, they successfully preserved its true, powerful medical efficacy in an instant, easy-to-use format.
That brings us to our final part, Section 5, Guidelines for Safe Use.
Because this plant is so medically potent, we absolutely must respect the strict rules for using it safely. We want it to act as medicine, right? Not poison? So if you're going to utilize the mulberry plant, you need to follow these 3 rules. First up, always soak the fresh fruit in dilute salt water for 10 minutes to clear away any of that toxic sap or lingering chemicals. Second, never eat it right after putting your fork down. You need to wait 30 to 60 minutes after a meal, or you are definitely asking for serious stomach upset. And third, and I really want to put special emphasis on this one, store it only in glass containers. The natural tannins in this plant are extremely high, and if those tannins react with metal, they will actually create dangerous toxins. Glass only, folks. Seriously.
We also have to talk about strict contraindications. Because the physiological power of this plant is so strong, certain people should avoid it entirely. Pregnant or nursing women, individuals with naturally low blood pressure, and people with very weak digestion just need to steer clear. But most importantly, if you are currently taking pharmaceutical medication to lower your blood sugar, mixing it with mulberry without a doctor's strict supervision can cause a double drop in your blood sugar. That is an incredibly dangerous situation. Knowledge and caution are absolutely key here.
It's really an incredible journey, isn't it? Going from a plant we just brush off as a common garden weed, to a potentially toxic berry, to an absolute medical marvel, validated by cutting-edge food science. It genuinely makes you look at the natural world just a little bit differently. And it leaves us with a fascinating, pretty provocative question to think about. How many other fairy herbs are growing right along our garden fences right now, just hiding untapped scientific superpowers waiting to be discovered? Thank you so much for joining me on today's Explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you on the next one.